dialogue gives that sparkle and spice to telling a story. So maybe you could just start off telling from your perspective, what is dialogue, and are there different types, just for people who want to make sure they're on the same page with you?
Right, absolutely. So I have a few notes here that I'll be reading, but I mean, dialogue, all dialogue is it's a technique in which the writer allows the characters to engage in conversation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a character will always begin as flat and one-dimensional. And then your descriptions of the character are going to give it kind of the skeleton to fill it out. But your dialogue is what is going to give your character the personality and the soul. So good dialogue can actually tell you more about a character than a paragraph full of description. So Stephen King, which if you don't have the book, Stephen King's book on writing, it is like the Bible for writers. It's so good. I read it every year just because it's so inspiring. But Stephen King writes in this book that writing is at its best always, always, always when it is a kind of inspired play for the writer. So your characters are going to be the ones that are bringing your story to life. And so in order to do that, you need to craft dialogue that brings life to the scene. And when you do that, you're going to be drawing the reader directly into the story. You almost make them feel like a fly on the wall. Yeah. And then as far as different types of dialogues, there really are two different types of dialogues. There's the inner dialogue, where you're kind of getting to hear what's inside the character's head. And then there's dialogue between two or more characters. And so these different dialogues reveal different parts of the personality. I always like to write in the first person because I like that sort of inner dialogue. It's fun to get a reader inside a character's head. But it's also really, really important to make sure that you're crafting good dialogue between characters, because it lets you see how they're relating to one another. I have an example. I just am using my novel that's coming out soon. So I'm going to read just a short little bit as an example of inner dialogue. Yeah. And then a short little paragraph of dialogue between two characters that kind of lets you know who these characters are. So this one is the grandmother who survived the Soviet Gulag. This is the opening part of the book, and where she's telling the reader, like, this is who I am. I'm a secret keeper. And so she says, the memories haunt me. Though I've spent a lifetime rearranging the facts, I still can't seem to escape the images. They move through my head in the quiet moments like a mirage. Real or fake, even I'm not sure anymore, but I'm old and I'm tired, and I no longer have the energy to fill my days with meaningless tasks to keep the secrets at bay. So they chase me and they're catching up. I can't speak of the memories, of course, not to anyone. The key to keeping a secret is to replace the hidden news with something different, and then to make yourself believe the new story. Roll the facts through your head until they've muddled the reality of events. This is what I've done, what I've tried to do. This is what she is going to try to do. Keep it hidden, share as little as possible. She and I are not so different after all. We're both rewriting our own history. So like that sort of immediately invites the reader into, okay, she's got something to tell. She's not telling it. And so it sort of sets this air of like mystery of what happened.